Tonight's Game 6 of the Stanley Cup first round between the Edmonton Oilers and the Phenix Coyotes.
On that Taco Bell text bowl throughout this evening. Tyson is between the benches here tonight as the Coyotes try to make it to 2 straight in the win column after that very impressive 4-0 shutout over the Nashville Predators on Monday night.
3-2 overtime loss.
Chad Johnson gets a call tonight between the pipes for the Coyotes, coming off that 21-save shutout, and we're underway here as the Coyotes
number 6
a bit more momentum as they meet the Edmonton Oilers here for the first time this season. And out there to play it into the corner is Antoine Vermette, and that'll be taken away momentarily by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. The Oilers try to get it out, but they can't. Down low it goes. Sharp angle shot.
3 games to 2. Oilers lead the series.
Korpikoski up on this top line with Vermette and Shane Doan, and the Phoenix Coyotes a couple good chances early in this game.
Good look there too for Jordan Eberle, and so we'll get a face-off inside the Coyote zone. Just underway, 31 seconds into this matchup at Jobbing.com Arena.
Well, that's going to be a matchup.
The crowd atmosphere
Chad Johnson, his first save of the game, 21 the other night, but that top line for the Coyotes with Vermette and Doan and Korpikoski against Nugent-Hopkins, Hall and Eberle. You don't want to get into a run-and-gun game against
boards, and now it's freed by Derek Morris, and this one will be steered by the goaltender Chad Johnson.
The Phoenix Coyotes,
we got another
good chances early in this
call
game
against the Oilers.
Two for Jordan Eberle, and so we'll get a face-off inside the Coyote zone. Just underway, 31 seconds into this matchup at Jobbing.com Arena.
Well, that's going to be a matchup. You take a look at Chad Johnson, his first save of the game, 20.
Johnson gets a call tonight between the pipes for the Coyotes, coming off that 21-save shutout, and we're under there too.
Well, that's going to be a matchup. You take a look about it. You don't want Korpikoski against Nugent-Hopkins, Hall, and Eberle. We talked about it. You don't want to get into a run-and-gun game against that line. You don't want to trade chances. They pumped the Colorado.
That time Boyd Gordon, puck is onside. The Oilers keep the Coyote zone. Ryan Smith working along the left wing boards, and now it's freed by Derek Morris, and this one will be steered by the goaltender Chad Johnson. Played all the way back to center ice. Justin Schultz, the youngster out of the University of Wisconsin, will play it back in behind the net. Look out here, turnover. Smith trying to get it to the front. It's taken away, and the Coyotes will get it back to center. And over the line, trying to chase this one down. Nick Johnson played very well on Monday night to Tyson against the Predators, so we'll keep an eye on his ice time here this evening.
That was Johnson and Johnson the other night against the Nashville Predators. A goal and an assist for number 32. And a shutout for Chad Johnson with his family in the house. I believe they're here too.
A one-timer taken that time is stopped by Chad Johnson.
Great look there
by Ryan Whitney.
3 saves.
Devin Dubnyk gets the start tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. 3-2 with a 3.18 goals against average. He has become the go-to guy, especially in the absence of Nikolai Habe-Bulin. And Habe-Bulin, just a side note on him, he was activated off the IR. And they have assigned Jan Denis. I believe he cleared waivers, so he'll be headed back to Oklahoma City, the farm team of the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, can't see.
Played all the way back in. Radim Vrbata chasing into the corner against Ryan Whitney. We're going to whistle here, and evidently a late icing call. Radim Vrbata doesn't agree, so they'll bring it all the way back up ice.
Let's take a look here. Radim Vrbata trying to get in and touch this puck to negate this icing. Looks like Whitney gets it there. Coyotes bench didn't like it either, so a big defensive zone face-off coming up here for the Coyotes with Hemsky, Gagne.
Well, there are the numbers on Vrbata. He's had a point in 49 of the last 83 games he's played in since the start of the 11-12 season. Vrbata chasing into the corner against Ryan Whitney.
The save
by
Chad
here,
Johnson.
A late
we got another offside.
Vrbata doesn't agree, so they'll bring it all the way back up ice.
Let's take a look here. Radim Vrbata trying to get in and touch this puck to negate this icing. Looks like Whitney gets it there. Coyotes bench didn't like it either, so let's take a look here. Radim Vrbata trying to get in and touch this puck to negate this icing. Looks like Whitney gets it there. Coyotes bench didn't like it either.
Here. Walk up along the near boards, and now it's going to be cleared out. Good move there. Somebody's lost a glove, and we're going to whistle here. They're going to bring the face-off back in.
Well, we're going to talk about my keys to this hockey game. They're going to be real important. We always talk about the neutral zone, particularly against this Edmonton Oilers team. You want to bottle them up. You want to take away their speed. That's where a good majority of the game is played. And then you want to be physical on these highly skilled Edmonton Oilers, but with discipline. They got a real good power play, over 32%, and know your role. That fourth line for the Coyotes on these highly skilled Edmonton Oilers, but with discipline. They got a real good power play, over 32%, and know your role.
I think they were looking at these Griffins might have been looking for interference or goalie interference, but I didn't see them.
Shot that time. Tyson won wide of the mark.
Well, now he waved it off.
Because of on their power play, their 5-on-5 numbers, they scored 4 and allowed 10 against.
Wow.
Definitely a key there is Paul Bissonetto sent one over the glove that time of Devin Dubnyk. And now Belanger, the former Coyote, will play it across.
Excuse me, Matt. Sorry, I said 32%. They're 35%. They're second in the National Hockey League on the power play for the Edmonton Oilers.
Let's take a look at the coaches in this one. Dave Tippett for the Coyotes. Trying to build off that momentum from Monday night against the Nashville Predators. The numbers, 10th season as a head coach. And at the other end, Ralph Kruger for the Edmonton Oilers. First season, he's been an assistant. He was an assistant on their staff for several years prior. And an all-time mark, 3-2. Back of the point, it goes. Morris to Yandel, and Yandel's shot is blocked away by Paiardi, and the puck will be played down low. Now to the front, Korpikoski's there, and a point-blank save that time by Devin Dubnyk.
Dubnyk's been good in this game. I like the Coyotes. They're throwing everything on the net, taking that puck with speed, creating a lot of offense.
Yandel, nifty move to get it all the way back to center ice. You can hear the oohs and ahs coming from the crowd here at Jobbing.com Arena as Everly will play behind. Justin Schultz, who's drafted by Anaheim, elected not to sign there and ending up in Edmonton. And now Schultz will look to bring it out. Played during the lockout at Oklahoma City. Quick counter, though, and a nice pick-off that time by Nick Johnson.
Yeah, that's that neutral zone that I talked about, Matt. Clog it up, force those turnovers.
Played around and now back through center ice. Taylor Hall drops it back out high and a shot wide of the mark. The Coyotes will pick it up. Boyd Gordon on right wing. Now Gordon has Nick Johnson in front. Got off a weak shot that time that was partially deflected by Schultz. There's Jeff Schultz and Nick Schultz on this defensive core for the Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton Oilers.
We got the Johnsons, they got the Schultz.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
a fight between
an interesting night for a play-by-play guy, that's for sure. And Jeff Schultz coming over. Excuse me, Nick Schultz. I'll get it right. Here we go. Came over from the Minnesota Wild in the Tom Gilbert trade at the deadline last year.
Another key in this game is going to be the high forward in the offensive zone for the Phoenix Coyotes. We saw Dave Moss
in the playoffs.
Real high, that backside pressure, always helping out your defense, allowing them to step up and make those plays at the blue line.
Played right back in deep that time by Corey Potter. Behind the net, Ryan Smith down low for the Edmonton Oilers. Also in there is Sean Horcov, but it's taken away by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and he'll get it up the ice. Boy, there hasn't been anything sent up the middle of the ice so far in the early going by the Phoenix Coyotes, and now this one is sent right back in by Leonard Petrell.
Good puck management by the Coyotes.
Taken away, loose puck out high. Smead will play it across. Here's a chance and a shot deflected by Chad Johnson. Now Gagne. So slippery for the Edmonton Oilers. Led them in goals last year. Played behind the net. Ryan Smith is there. Shot and they score. Oilers led him in goals last year. Played behind the net. Ryan Smith is there.
Smith is there. Here's Ryan Smith. He scores. Ryan Smith. Oh, I think it's waved off. No, it isn't.
Crashing the net that time. It might have been Leonard Petrell.
He's crashing the net.
The Oilers have taken
the Oilers have taken a lead, and I think that the goal is waved off.
This is the Edmonton Oilers veteran line. Ryan Smith gets in on the forecheck, takes the body.
A goal.
Good puck support, and they just jam away. The puck ends up being stuffed here by Ryan Smith, whacks away. I believe that was 37 Petrell that was there. The bang home that forecheck, takes the body. Good puck support, and they just jam away. The puck ends up being stuffed here by Ryan Smith, whacks away. I believe that was 37
Smith.
Trell that was there.
The goal is it a goal?
Hang home that rebound. I believe that was 37 for Trell.
Scrivens might have been looking for interference or goalie interference, but didn't see nothing.
Smith whacks him.
Well, now they waved it off.
Oh, because of that.
Last year, Oilers have taken a 1-0 lead.
Wow. Well, they were saying that there was somebody in the crease that Scrivens there, and they can't. If that's the case, it's up to their discretion. If they waive.
In his early tenure as a Coyotes goaltender.
No score.
From behind that, Aleshevsky.
Aleshevsky. No score.
Gagne there. From behind that, Aleshevsky. From behind that, Aleshevsky. Look to play it along. Gagne there. Behind that, he's goaltender. Behind that, Aleshevsky. Behind that, Aleshevsky. Look to play it along. Gagne there. First time Korpikoski penalty coming up here against Edmonton. It looks like a slash. As Larry Korpikoski had a stick hacked right out of his hands.
It's going to be Gagne going to the box, and an opportunity here for the Coyotes with a red-hot power play. Matt, they have done some damage. They got one the other night. They're tied for third in the NHL for power play goals, 24%. They've come up big when they've needed the power play most. And really the last 3 years, they haven't had much of a power play. You look at the penalty here, just a slash on the hands. I'm not a big fan of that penalty. I know I've talked about it a lot. I'm just not.
So the Coyotes have an opportunity to get it right back on the power play. Verbata has it, back out high. Derek Morris. Now Yandel. This one's going to be taken away and cleared out of there. Archelaje over the line, and a shot is on. No problem there for Chad Johnson.
Pressure up high by the Edmonton Oilers forwards, taking away that DDD pass. Steve Yandel telegraphed that one.
Didn't score.
It's our first Arizona Lottery Powerball power play of the evening. Coyotes have scored 7 power play goals with 6 different scores this power play of the evening. Coyotes have scored 7 power play goals with 6 different scores this season.
First round series. Game 6.
This shot is blocked. And Yandel will have to set it up. Vodker up front right now with Korpikoski. Verbata goes to the bench. And he's replaced by Dave Moss.
Look at the numbers there, 7 power play goals for the Coyotes, 6 different goal scorers. So they're spreading the love around.
Here's a chance, Stone into the corner. Going back out high, a shot, and that just deflected wide. Off the stick of Antoine Vermette. And behind it, could have been a penalty there. Play rolls on as Petrell will send one up the ice.
That was a big block shot there by Petrell, right in the slot in the scoring area.
Doan has room. Wraps one around. Dave Moss looking to lock it up. Coyotes get it at that point. Now here's a chance. Vermette to the middle. Doan with a shot blocked away. Oh, he had a great look there right in the slot. And it's cleared all the way back.
Again, another big block shot by the Edmonton Oilers. This time it was Belanger. And Doan had that thing labeled.
14 seconds remaining in the Coyotes power play, looking for their first shot.
Looking for their first
Larson trying
goal.
to backhand one towards the net. 5-player battle in behind, and now it's cleared all the way down the length of the ice. So that'll do it. Door opens, Gagne out. Oilers are back to full strength. David Rundblad will play
No goals scored
Schlemko.
in Game 6.
Right to the
Stanley
net,
Cup
handled by
playoffs.
Dubnyk, and that'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Early on, the Oilers with a
Game 6,
1-0 lead.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
Well, welcome back, and this is what we talked about, the neutral zone play. You take a look at 1, 2, 3 forwards in the neutral zone. Boyd Gordon doing a nice job up ice. Interception there by Johnson, and back on the attack. And that's how you play against the Edmonton Oilers, clogging things up, not allowing them any outlet passes, make them come through you. A nice job in this first period by the Coyotes in that department. Even though they're down 1-0, but you want to stick with the plan, Matt.
You definitely do, and you want it to be just like Monday night.
Yes.
It was best effort defensively for sure, and a pretty good start despite the Petrel goal that came at 4:51 on even strength by Smith from Smith and Gagnon. Played right back and over the line. Adam Hall trying to get around McCulloch. Now Everly to the corner for Hall. He'll play it in behind the net. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins there. They try to get it to the front. Knocked away that time by Verbata and cleared back to center.
Well, there was a first look at that speed with the Edmonton Oilers. Taylor Hall dances around Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Good read though by McCulloch to come over and help his partner out.
Taylor Hall gets it to the line, and we get a whistle on the offside. Well, don't forget, every time the Coyotes win, you win. After every Coyotes win, receive 50% off your online order at papajohns.com. Just type in the promo code Coyotes. Busy night here in Glendale.
Game 6.
Oilers across the street.
The Oilers,
a friendly, as they call it.
7-goal
Tyson between
blowout
Denmark and
in Game 4.
Mexico at University of Phoenix Stadium. Saw the Danes, the soccer team here on Monday night, supporting Mikkel Boedker and the Coyotes.
All in the locker room after and joining the celebration.
I asked him, Mikkel, if he played growing up. He said he played a little bit. Not a lot, but he has played the sport, as this one is moved right back in. Good take-out play that time by Yandel. And Alvarado moving along, and Yandel look back to center as he flips it for Morris. Eric Morris from center, and a glove save by Dubnyk, and that'll get a whistle. Well, Mikkel Boedker, his trade is hockey. At one point, though, when he was growing up, played a little bit of football, shall we call it. There's the soccer team from Denmark. There's the soccer team from Denmark coming into the locker room after the game and getting the grand tour, Tyson.
Well, they're loving it. I love the cameras. This is a professional team that is enjoying it and soaking up another professional team. I always loved that when I played, meet another athlete.
Coming into the locker room after the game and getting the grand tour, Tyson.
Well, they're loving it. I love the cameras. This is a professional team that...
Here we go. The Sport. 1-0 Coyotes.
Denmark coming into the, shall we call it. There's the, he was growing up, played a little bit of Mikkel Boedker.
Mikkel Boedker scores, gets his fifth in the playoffs, and first soccer goal in the playoffs.
Played his hockey at one point, though, when he was growing up. Soccer team from Denmark coming into the locker room after the game. Getting the grand tour, Tyson.
Oh, they're loving it. I love the cameras. This is a professional team that is enjoying it and soaking up another professional team. And I always loved that when I played, meeting other athletes and being in their locker rooms, and it's always such a treat.
It was like a World Cup
of the game and sports in general.
FIFA World Cup coming up this
away and all the way back to center. This one's going to go all the way down the length. Schlemko touches, so an icing call here
Coyotes, Chad,
against the Edmonton Oilers.
There's a look at David Schlemko. Outstanding game the other night. Blocking shots. He led this team last year in block shots for the Coyotes. Didn't get a full 82 in either.
Now, last year was a little bit frustrating. He had the injury bug going, and off to a very solid start here for head coach Dave Tippett.
It'd be nice when this Coyote team can get somewhat healthy. No Sullivan, as we talked about at the open of the show tonight. No Martin Hanzal, no Klesla, no Mike Smith, and Rafi Torres, who we all know is coming back Saturday. So this will be a lot different team.
Schlemko, glove save that time, Dubnyk, and we'll get another face-off, and now a little bit of pushing and shoving.
That's all about playing your role. This fourth line is making their presence felt early in this hockey game. Bissonnette with a big hit on the sideboards, and Again, back to Schlemko. Another block shot, helping his goaltender out. When you're in front of your goaltender, you better block that shot. And he throws a muffin on net with Paul Bissonnette right there on the doorstep. And you look at his numbers in 5 games, what he's done. And they missed him last season, that is for sure. Even when he came back, he wasn't at 100%. But he is now, I'll tell you that.
Great to see him get a goal tonight. He's gone 49 without. Ryan Smith chips it along, trying to get it past Derek Morris. Nothing doing there. Yandel spreads it. Morris to center. And now Gordon will dump one in. Evan Dubnyk now for Ryan Whitney. Oilers try that left wing side. Locked up beautifully, however, by Derek Morris coming down. Putting on some pressure there at Tyson from that right point area. And now Ryan Whitney will look up ice and he'll get it out for Ryan Smith. Good support that time by Boyd Gordon. Giveaway here, however, Horcov 2-on-1 all of a sudden. Horcov to the front.
Horcov to the front.
That time for Petrell, who already has the lone Oilers goal and a 1-0 Edmonton lead.
Oh, that's old
Coyotes
school right
goal.
there. Morris ends up giving that puck up on the blue line, but he makes a real good defensive play. Double pad stack on that cross crease pass.
Smead now for Edmonton. Right wing side, back it over the line it goes. Everly. Pull-up move there. Took a hit that time from Alex Bolduc. Now back in front, a chance over the top of the net. Fired high by Everly. Smead to the corner. Down low, Hall got it to the front. Loose, it's there, but it's knocked away. And Ekman Larsson, quick outlet for Verbata to center. Over the line, drops it. Ekman Larsson, the trailer is Bodker with a shot. Glove save by Dubnyk, and he and drops it. Ekman Larsson, the trailer is Bodker with a shot.
With a penalty shot.
By Dubnyk,
And a save by Devin Dubnyk.
he holds.
Oh, that's a big save. What a move.
Can you believe it?
There by
Devin
Bodker.
Dubnyk with a soccer save.
Devin Dubnyk has been outstanding in this game.
Some FIFA vibes in Phoenix.
Alex Bolduc in the penalty box. That the result of the scrum prior to break.
Just a late poke there on Devin Dubnyk, who made a big save on Mikhail Bodker. That was all she wrote there, so 2 minutes for Bolduc.
So the Coyotes penalty killing unit out, and the Oilers have been terrific on the man advantage as a shot trickled wide. They had all 4 goals against the Colorado Avalanche on Monday night come off the power play. This one's going to be taken away and cleared nicely that time by Oliver Ekman Larsson.
Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers, they don't get fancy. They just shoot the puck with traffic in front, as we saw early in that power play. They don't mess around.
Ekman Larsson out there to kill the penalty along with Zbynek McCulloch. Also out there Antoine Vermette and Mikhail Bodker. Schultz now plays it across. Nugent Hopkins down low for Taylor Hall. All that young talent out there right now as it's moved along. Holding is Everly with a shot, and that goes off the netting, and we'll get a whistle.
Well, there's Jordan Everly. What a player he's been for the Edmonton Oilers the last few years. Really starting to come into his own. Such a talent. 6 points in 5 games. 3 of those goals. And he has been a human highlight reel this season for the Oilers, logging big minutes. Really kind of taken over for Horcov and Ryan Smith, who probably won't play as much this season, play a much different role as those young kids take over this team.
Holding is Everly with a shot, and that goes off the netting, and we'll get a whistle.
He has been a human highlight reel taken over for Horcov and Ryan Smith, who probably won't play as much.
Behind the net, Derek.
Play a much different role as those young kids take over this team.
In behind the net, Derek Morris will try to wrap it around. Got help from Dave Moss, just trying to push the point man right off that right point, and the puck will be cleared to the neutral zone, and that's where Boyd Gordon tries to advance it, but nail Yacopov all over that. And so now Derek Morris will send it all the way down the length of the ice. Just 3 shots allowed in the last 6 opportunities on the Coyotes penalty kill. And that's going to have to be razor sharp tonight against the best power play unit in the National Hockey League. Puck played in behind the net. Gagne is there, and it's covered up by Chad Johnson. Not a bad idea, Tyson, considering you can get a face-off here.
Yeah, Gordon wanted that puck, though. I don't think Chad Johnson knew that Gordon was there and available to rip that puck all the way down the ice on his forehand. Chad Johnson, though, taking no chances at this stage of the game.
That's communication, is it not?
Yeah, so important. Don't let your ears be your eyes sometimes. Gotta talk.
Well, you're talking about two players that haven't played all but just one game together. Vermette played back of the line. This one's taken away. Korpikoski's going to try to get it up ice. Now McCulloch with a green light brings it back and over the line. Nearly set up there for Korpikoski. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with it the other way. Pull-up move here, Adam Hall. Now Hall looking around. 19 to go in the Oiler power play. Taylor Hall trying to work it to the front, and Nugent-Hopkins' shot is over the top of the net. Everly has it. Knocked away. And out of the zone it goes, and Antoine Vermette holding.
Almost had his pocket there.
Bolduc out of the penalty box to lend some support there. Just two Oilers shots on their man advantage as we roll on.
Yeah, and all from the outside. Not dangerous. Coyotes doing a real good job in this PK.
Back over the line. In front. Bolduc set up beautifully that time by Kyle Chikchura. Pajärvi the other way for Ryan Smith, and Smith's shot goes up high. Alonje got picked by Doan. Coyotes will look to get it out, and they flip it back to center play. Right now a little ragged. Yandel sends one in. Dubnyk steers that. Now Bolduc with a chance, and that's steered aside by the Oilers goaltender. Good keep of the line momentarily by Yandel. Oilers working into the neutral zone, and Laddie Smead now. The dump one deep. The Oilers go for the change. Coyotes, by the way, no power play goals allowed in the last 7 opponent opportunities. So that is definitely Tyson trending in the right direction.
They started out a little bit slow to start the year. They allowed a bunch, and now they've walked that down. And so important, special teams.
Oleszewski will get it out of the zone, back through center. Nail Yacopov got it towards the net before it's cleared out of there by Schlemko. And all the way back, racing for it is Nick Johnson, but Ryan Whitney back to support for the Oilers. Nick Johnson seems to be more comfortable as each game goes by, getting more and more of a role in the lineup. Here's Bolduc back over the line. Bolduc with a pull-up move there, but it's stripped away.
Hemsky read that one like a book.
Nick Schultz will play it across. Corey Potter. Derek Morris. Played right back in that time by Nick Johnson. Justin Schultz down. He's a right-handed shooting defenseman. Nick Schultz a lefty. Now there goes Justin Schultz as he'll bring it back through center for Horcov. Horcov shot batted away that time by Chad Johnson. The puck sent all the way back inside the Edmonton zone.
The Edmonton Oilers trying to find their way here in this game, and the Coyotes are doing a real nice job. They have no speed whatsoever in that neutral zone.
Little tuck there on the arm, play rolls on. Nope, they're going to get it. Puck play to the corner, delayed call coming up here against the Coyotes, and it's going to be a hooking call. We'll check it when we come back.
Game 6.
Oilers with a 1-0 lead late first. Derek
Coyotes
Morris
with a 1-0 lead in Game 6 in the Stanley Cup first
There's
round.
a look at it here, right there.
Hooking at 15:06.
Here's a look at it here, right there. Not much of a hook, I can tell you that. But now you know the refs are going to be calling everything here tonight. You got to keep your sticks to yourself. And the Oilers, they draw a ton of penalties just because of their speed. They're unafraid to dump that puck in and chase it down, forcing the defenseman maybe a little bit flat-footed to reach out and grab it. As you look at the numbers there.
Now this is their 30th power play opportunity of the season, Tyson. This is their 6th game.
8th power play in the first round.
Made a living. 15:06. Horcov now gives it off into the corner.
Shot! Oh, and the save by Devin Dubnyk!
And it's cleared down the length of the ice. key juncture of the hockey game for sure. 4.5 remaining in the opening period and 1.5 minutes or so remaining in the Oilers power play.
Oilers power play.
Taylor Hall.
Game 6 of the Stanley Cup first round.
Well, the Oilers set it up. Before Bodker will knock it away. Out of the zone it goes. Verbata's going to have a chance shorthanded. Verbata. Behind the net.
Verbata!
Now Radim Verbata just trying to kill some penalty time as it's moved out quickly, and Nugent Hopkins in over the line.
The puck rolled up on Verbata. Took a funny bounce off the boards. He really couldn't sit down and make a play out of it.
Yeah, that time Moss with some bad luck as well. Looked like he couldn't control the puck. You wonder, both teams having a little bit of difficulty there here tonight. Right back in over the line, into the corner it goes. Hemsky will play it in behind the net. Yacopov in the corner. Nail Yacopov will work it to the line. Intended that time for Gagne. Now Moss is going to go after it. Tried to draw a penalty there. Nothing doing as Ryan Whitney will play behind the net.
Good body position there by Gagne on David Moss. Hemsky almost night there.
Well, he got bumped that time by Vermette. The other way and a shot on Korpikoski. It's steered by Dubnyk. Things opening up a little bit here. Nail Yacopov over the line. Little pull-up move there. Now Yacopov to the line. Gagne. Jeff Petrie in the corner. Trying to move it back towards the point. This one deflects all the way back.
A good stick there by Vermette. And that's a play the Edmonton Oilers are going to want to stay away from. There's a simple play back to your D. There's no need to try and put it through people.
Coyotes kill off the power play. Not a shot on goal for the Oilers as they'll dump one right back in.
He's got 3D out there with Derek Morris coming out of the box.
Yarvin out of the corner. They work it back out high. Now Morris is going to take it away, and he'll clear it all the way back out of the zone back towards center. Shane Doan now chasing it down inside the Oilers zone with a weak little shot that flutters up and wide. Yarvin and Doan battling for it as the puck into the corner, and now the Oilers will set it up. Belanche couldn't get it out. Coyotes look to counter. Doan has it. Doan down low. Trying to leave it there for Chipchura. Chipchura that time a little bit of a tug. Now Kyle Chipchura back out high, and a shot is on. What a stop that time. Stone had a great look on Dubnyk. And the Oilers are looking more like Keystone Cops on that last series. Finally get it out.
Well, Devin Dubnyk's been really good in this game. He had 37 saves the other night against the Colorado Avalanche, and he has continued here tonight.
Taylor Hall on left wing will bring it back to center. Goes wide on a drop pass, Corey Potter. Played in behind the net. Taylor Hall's going to try to set it up. His Oilers roster is like a Michigan State alumni group. Who's played in behind the net. Derek Morris. Now cleared out. Hall will get it back at center ice. Derek Morris plays it back in behind the net. 1:18 remaining in the opening period. Bodker. Good flip as he gets one deep. Dubnyk to steer. Schultz that time got picked by Bodker. Never saw him coming, so now a scrum for it as the puck is loose in front, and it'll be taken away that time. Out of the zone. Hartikainen up the ice for Petrell. What a takeaway that time. Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Outstanding.
One of the best sticks of any defenseman in the National Hockey League. Shown there. Vinny McCulloch lost it. Played in behind the net. Little flip to the front that time by Horcov. Now behind the net, Hartikainen got drilled that time by Vermette. Out of the corner it goes. Rick Schultz will work it in behind. A half a minute to go in this opening period. Coyotes trying to
Coyotes lead 1-0.
Behind the net, Horcov worked it to the front. Hartikainen couldn't get a shot away. And Bodker will get it all the way back to center.
Bodker. Oh!
Coyotes late change here in the opening period. All the way back where Chad Johnson will play.
Here's Chad Johnson. Oh! What a shot!
Out of the corner, Boyd Gordon. 5 seconds to go. Coyotes clear, and that's pretty much going to do it here for the opening 20.
Huge save by Devin Dubnyk to end this first period with a 1-0 Coyotes lead
in terms of the defensive style that we saw
in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup first round.
Period there by the Phoenix Coyotes. So offensive, the Edmonton Oilers. And here's a look at Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Terrell thought he was off to the races again, looking for goal number 2, but Ekman Larsson says not tonight.
And this is what you're talking about. And again,
The playoffs
was a step behind, but he was able to get that stick and break it up on Leonard Petrov.
The Coyotes got to continue that. Stick with the game plan. Down 1-0. Pretty solid all the way around on that.
Game 6 of the Stanley Cup first round for the
Edmonton Oilers with a
at
1-0 lead courtesy of the Leonard Petrov goal.
3-2.
Game at 4:51.
The Coyotes lead the series.
Todd Walsh up next. Well, the Coyotes heading back to the ice for period number 2.
Rexall for game 7.
Oilers, they trail.
The Oilers,
they
trailed 3-2.
Well, don't forget the Coyotes face the Stars in Big D for the first of a home-and-home series with the Stars. Payback on their minds? Yeah, I would imagine so. It's only on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Friday night coverage begins with Coyotes Live, presented by CenturyLink at 6:15 p.m. For Plus channel listings, log on to foxsportsarizona.com. So we are ready to go. Antoine
Ready to go. Game 6.
That face-off. It's his first face-off loss of the evening.
We're 1 second in.
And a stoppage of play. He's now 5-1.
He's been good in the circle. Last year he was tremendous as well, really over his career. Boyd Gordon as well, who actually leads this team 58%, third in the NHL for Gordon.
Led with 4 hits in that first period of play as well. Oilers will get it out just underway here in the second period.
The crowd.
Everly.
At 125 decibels.
Both teams beginning the
Both
second
teams
period
beginning
at full strength.
To score.
This one will go all the way down where it's steered by Devin Dubnyk. Now behind the net, Jeff Petrie. Laddie Speed. Now Speed taken away, nearly put to the front that time for the captain, Shane Doe. Everly with it. Back to the front, knocked away. Nice breakup play that time by McAuliffe. Racing back to center, Korpikoski, but we're going to get a whistle on the high stick. Downstairs, Todd Walsh, what do you got?
That was a quick take from Coyotes assistant coach Jim Playfair. Not unpleased with that first period, much like we were, but a couple of things that just jumped off the map. First and foremost, make sure you're winning that first battle for the puck. But also this, and this has been a running theme early on this truncated season, make sure you're making life difficult for the other team, especially those skilled guys. That's been the benchmark of this team for the last couple of years. Be hard to play against to see if they can try and carry that the rest of the way here.
That's what we talked about. Also, some of the keys to the game. Physical, but also discipline. The Coyotes took 2 penalties in that first period. They're going to want to stay away from that.
Well, that was the script for success on Monday night against Nashville. They made life very difficult for the likes of Martin Erat, Kostitsin, and Shea Weber.
That's skill, too. You want to get them thinking. Knowing every time they touch that puck, they're going to get hit. It's not about how hard you hit them. It's the amount of times that you hit them. Soften up that meat, tenderize it as this game goes along.
We got an offside call here. Talking about a little defensive play. We've been talking about David Schlemko. This is the hard way examples we saw Monday night, Tyson.
Yeah, David Schlemko at his best. Led the team last season in shot blocks. Doing it again here tonight. And a big one in front of their goaltender, Chad Johnson.
They blocked the one shot with his back, and he said after the game, the only reason I blocked it with my back was I turned because I was afraid it was going to hit me in the face. Dempsey to the front, Gagne, and his shot over the top, and that goes off netting, and so we'll get a whistle. Sam Gagne, maybe is he the forgotten one in this whole mix, Tyson? I mean, he's a terrific hockey player.
Well, we really haven't talked to him about him, a whole lot in this hockey game. Tonight he's got 6 points in 5 games, and the other guy is Hemsky. I mean, he's a guy that we haven't talked about that might have the best hands of all of these forwards for the Edmonton Oilers. Just a tremendous talent. He's on the left side here with Yacopov and Gagne right now.
A great line thrown out by Ralph Kruger, the head coach. Corey Potter's shot wide of the mark. And out of the zone for Radim Vrbata. Flips it into the corner, going after it. There's Alex Bolduc. Now Bolduc's going to try to get it into the left wing corner. Bolduc behind the net. Gave it off there, comes back out high. Stone went for a block, but it's going to go all the way down the length of the ice, and Chad Johnson will move it into the corner, but this one broken up. Well, they work it back out high, and Bodker on the quick counter, and he'll bring it back to center. Mikkel Bodker with it. Well, Bodker trying to go wide, dips that shoulder, got one in front, but nobody there for the Coyotes. And it's cleared back inside of their own zone. Bodker again, he'll try it one more time. Late in the shift, he's got Chipchurro with him. Bodker lost it. It's turned the other way. Oilers come back in a 3-on-2, and now Bodker really gassed being out there late in the shift. It's one of those plays, I guess, at the end of a long shift, Tyson, where you want to get it deep.
You want to get it deep and get off, but I like Mikkel Bodker. Again, that's what he brings at that speed. He backs off those defensemen of the Edmonton Oilers. He had a real nice chance in the first period where he cut to the middle as well. Dubnyk made the save.
Yandel now locked up. Big hit there, Melange. That's steered aside by Chad Johnson. Yacopov will go in behind the net. Puck rolls around to the near side. Hartikainen and now Pajärvi. Leaves it there for Melange. Behind the net, Hartikainen. That's Keith Yandel. Pajärvi down there as well.
Hartikainen has made his presence felt in this game. Winning those board battles, big body.
Derek Morris through center, brings it back and over the line. Bissonnette overskated it. Coyotes seem just like a quarter of a step out of sync right now, Tyson, if that makes any sense. As Oliver Ekman-Larsson tries to bring one along, but it's kept. Justin Schultz tried to take one to the front, and he was denied that time beautifully by Bissonnette. Dolan will get it out. Back to center for Vermette. Now Vermette flips it along, left wing side. Bissonnette. He's been out there for a while now.
Korpikoski's licking his chops here on the bench, waiting for a line change. Here comes Bissonnette.
He is replaced by Larry Korpikoski. Over the line it goes. Nugent Hopkins to the corner. Taylor Hall angled off beautifully that time by McCulloch. And Dolan will get it out. And again, the Oilers will ship it all the way up the ice. Quick changes here out of both of these teams right now. Early on, second period, 4.5 gone, 1-0 Edmonton. Smead.
Coyotes.
Losing his stick that time along the near boards is the Oilers defenseman Corey Potter. And now Horcov will take it away. Ryan Smith. Probably doesn't have the legs that he once had. That speed, Tyson, but made a nice play on the goal as Chipchurro playing in behind the net.
Around that net, he is deadly. One of the best in the game, if not the best in the game, at being in front, that front net presence. Got that big paddle, almost like an oar. You've got to be a good player to use a stick like that. And an old wood blade. Probably the only player in the National Hockey League still using a wood stick.
Gotta love that.
Old school.
Played all the way back. Behind the net. Now Hemsky with it. Into the corner. Trying to set it up for Petrie coming down low. They never got it to him, and now it's taken away. And David Rundblad brings it through center, and this one is flipped along by Nick Johnson. Goldberg in a board battle in behind the net, but it's taken away, and Sam Gagner the other way for Edmonton. Flips it along, back it over the line, Yacopov. Well, Yacopov tried to get into the middle. Gagner had a little backhand flip. That doesn't connect. And Yandel will get it out for Bodker. The Oilers shutting it off beautifully here. Delayed offside, so Verbata had to let that puck go. And the other way for Hemsky. Alex Hemsky got it to the front. Gagner. Now Gagner, sharp angle, and Nick Johnson makes the save. And Morris back to center ice. Bodker with it. One-on-one game here for Mikkel Bodker, but it's knocked away. Justin Schultz that one all the way back to the Coyotes blue line before Vermette picks it off, and he'll send one deep. So we roll up and down the ice here. Not many whistles here in the second period. We've already played 6:40 of period number 2.
Not many scoring chances either. And this game has been entirely, at least the second period, has been played in that neutral zone. That's why it's so important to control this area of the game.
Speed now trying to get it back in over the line. Stone will clear it. And the delayed offside. Now they say that play was onside. Now out of the zone to center. Dome goes off the board. Sets it up for Vermette. Vermette with a step on Nugent Hopkins. Good recovery. Now here's Schlemko down the middle. He shoots. He set it over the top of the net. Oh, Schlemko that time filling the lane. This came out of nowhere.
What a feed. Good offensive instincts. Should be a penalty there. Everything is quick. Yeah, the collar goes down. The crowd doesn't like it.
Garage sale.
And Chad Johnson's coming to the bench. He thought there was a penalty too.
Yikes, holy smokes.
He was almost at the blue line.
Back out Chipchura. He'll flip one right back in. Nugent Hopkins into the corner. Out of the corner.
The crowd.
The front Gordon's there. That right about Dubnyk. Oh, he got a great look in front. This one just kind of simmering along as Chipchura gets it behind the net for Gordon. But he got stripped of the puck by Taylor Hall. Good support down low that time by the young forward. Petrie. Now Everly. Around the boards, Nugent Hopkins left it there. Ryan Smith, sharp angle shot. All the way back goes Bonker. Gotta love the up and down. Bonker in the corner. Now playing in behind the Edmonton net. Out of the zone for Leonard Petrell. He got picked.
Have a seat.
Big hit there. Will bring it along. Chips this one in behind the net. Dubnyk had to let it go. Bolden tried to wrap around in front. Nobody there. That time, Yano came down low. Up-handed that time. No penalty called. Bonker had a seat. It's cleared out and all the way back.
Upended right in the slot. The referee is shaking his head. Saying not a chance.
Morris gives it to Yano. Yano lost it. He gets it right back. Yacopov all over him. And the puck is played all the way back inside the Edmonton zone. Justin Schultz lost it. Kropokoski now on the counter. Wide open for Vermette. Vermette tried to get it to the front for Dome, who was camped out. Rundblad. Off the boards and behind the net. Vermette looking around. Vermette back out high. Rundblad took the shot. Knocked out high. Schlemko now with a chance. Here's a shot right on. That was blocked away. Shane Doe might have gotten away with that one. And as it's played all the way back by Rundblad. Rundblad in a roll of hurt. Then it rolls on. Sharp angle. Yacopov, and it's stopped by Johnson. Finally a whistle.
Game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The officials are letting them play
first round.
You're back 1-0 Oilers downstairs to
1-0
Tyson
Coyotes.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks. We're here with Michael Stone, and we made a big fuss about this Edmonton Oilers speed and their forwards. I think you guys have done a real good job in that neutral zone. Would you agree?
Yeah, limiting their time and space, making them dump pucks in deep and going back to retrieve it. Don't let them carry it in and get chances.
All right, thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, Michael Stone in the lineup
Michael
here
Stone.
tonight. Just 5 face-offs.
Five face-offs.
Good period, Tyson. Talked about how it's been an up and down type of period. You see him every once in a while with very few whistles.
Not many shots either. Only 13 for the Edmonton Oilers and 10 for the Coyotes. I think that favors the Coyotes. You do not, again, want to trade chances with this Oilers team.
Now, the Coyotes haven't had a shot in over 12 minutes in the second period. Shots favoring the Oil 6-0.
A lot of offensive zone time, though.
Back of the line it goes, and a chance Schlemko. It bounces over his stick, so Gordon back to help out and support.
And Edmonton's done a nice job as well, keeping the Coyotes to the outside, protecting that house in front of Dubnyk.
Devin Dubnyk covers up, and he'll get a face-off. Interesting, too, because Dubnyk, we talked about the fact that he's going to get a little help now that Nikolai Habe-Bulin is backing up tonight, so he's off the injured reserve. A bit of a busy stretch right now, too, for the Edmonton Oilers, like the Coyotes. They'll play tomorrow night in San Jose.
They'll play Game 7.
3 games in 4 nights on Saturday in Colorado.
Another big goaltender, 6 6'5", 210 pounds, and I think the story that got lost at the end of last year was how Dubnyk played down the stretch for the Edmonton Oilers. He was outstanding, and again, he's carried on into this season.
They waived Jan Denis, so he'll go to Oklahoma City. I believe he cleared waivers as this shot is taken wide. Corey Potter in behind the net. Nugent Hopkins working the left wing corner, working out high. Nice flip Eberle that time to get it to his D-man. Now behind the net, Eberle out of that left wing corner trying to create something here for Edmonton. Across it goes. Potter that time kind of sliding down from that right point. Well, the Oilers doing a pretty good job of getting the loose pucks in this sequence. Before the Coyotes will take it away, and nearly sprung was Shane Doan.
Heads up play there by Burnett. Shane Doan.
Good job there to cancel the icing. At the line, played all the way back, and the Oilers will reset inside of their own blue line.
In the defensive zone for the Coyotes, you really have to have your head on a swivel and make sure you keep an eye on your man, your defenseman. They're always looking to go, jump into the play, and hit that backdoor defenseman.
Out of the zone, played that time by Horcov. Will have to set it up, and now the Oilers with Justin Schultz will move it across to Nick Schultz. Coming all the way down, Chad Johnson playing in behind him. Derek Morris, bit of a rough ride that time. From the Oilers, Sean Horcov. Now Kyle Chipchura will take it away. Coyotes trying to get it out. Nice play by Ekman Larsson. Used his body to screen it. Here's a chance. Bottker in over the line. And now we get a whistle here and a face-off coming up, and the crowd appreciative of this sequence by the Phenix Coyotes. Will step out. Gagne at the other end, off the crossbar, and then Nick Johnson getting a chance in front of Dubnyk. Off the crossbar, and then Nick Johnson getting a chance in front of Dubnyk. Bit of a
jump into the play and hit that backdoor defenseman.
But all the way down, Chad Johnson playing in behind him. Derek Morris, bit of a rough ride that time. From the Oilers, Sean Horcov. Kyle Chipchura will take it away. Coyotes trying to get it out. Nice play by Ekman Larsson. Used his body to screen it. Here's a chance. Bottker in over the line. Bottker holding. And that's taken off his stick by Leonard Petrell.
Outstanding defensive play there. He slides. Bottker caught flat-footed. Couldn't get around him and get that puck to Chipchura, and couldn't get a shot on Dubnyk either.
Played all the way back by Yandel. Oilers in a line change. Really knocked away here. Out of the zone that time, Gagne. Now the Oilers are moving along, and here they come. Yacopov on the right wing for Hemsky with speed. Hemsky with a shot blocked away by Yandel. That time the Oilers use their speed. Here's a chance at fun. Hitting the crossbar that time was Gagne.
Oh, was that a twisted wrister?
At the line it goes. A shot wide of the mark. In a dead zone in behind the net there is. Battling for it is Ales Hemsky. Now taking it away is Boyd Gordon.
Again, that slot area. We've seen this in previous games. You can't allow. It was hosted against Chicago. It was Kopitar against the LA Kings, and now is Gagne here for the Edmonton Oilers in that slot area.
Knocked away. Here's a chance. Dave Moss tried to work it to the front. Nick Johnson there, but he couldn't get a shot off. Wow. Again, a chance at front. A shot and a point-blank save. What a look there for Bolduc. Alex Bolduc has it. Gets it to the front. A chance. Johnson. He just sent it wide. Oiler defender Laddie Smeed all over the puck that time. Back to the front. A chance. Johnson swat away at it. Loose puck and still no whistle. And now we get a whistle here and a face-off coming up. And the crowd appreciative of this Johnson by the Phoenix Coyotes. Will step out. Gagne at the other end.
With the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Crossbar, and then Nick Johnson getting a chance in front of Dubnyk. Well, a lot of times it's all about close calls, and Sam Gagne had one here. All sorts of time in front, right off the crossbar. Sam Gagne, a part of that good young core. As we take a look at the Farmers Insurance report card, we talked a lot about it tonight, Tyson. The fact that the Oilers, the #1 picks, they've had it over the last 3 seasons. What do you think of the youngsters here tonight?
Oh, you got to love it. It reminds me of the Edmonton Oilers of the 80s. They were building something special here. Going to be reckoned with as they mature
Gretzky,
in the NHL.
Glenn Anderson.
Schlemko shot wide. You grew up with those Edmonton Oilers teams.
Well, that's why I can say it reminds me of
The Stanley Cup
Those guys
champions
were all young,
are turning 40.
just finding their way. And this Edmonton Oilers team, when you draft first overall the last 3 years, get the top pick. I mean, you better be good, and they will be.
Back at center ice, Belanger. Water with it. At center ice, chasing this one down is Erdikainen. Kokoski along the near boards. Out of the zone, right back to center, and Stone moving along for Antoine Vermette on a flip pass there inside of the blue line, intended for Kokoski, broken up. Antoine goes right back after it. McCulloch will play it.
Great second effort there by the captain, Shane Doan. It's time now, Matt, to start firing things up and creating some more offense.
We get an icing call here. The Arizona Lottery is bringing back a hugely popular Buck Bash. Don't forget, you can get $1 beer, soda, and hot dogs when the Coyotes host the Stars this Saturday at 6.
Coyotes
Get your tickets today at Phoenix Coyotes.
the Oilers in Game 7
Bash, a very
at
popular
Rexall Place.
promotion. Coyotes.com. Buck Bash Stars this Saturday at 6. Get your tickets today at PhoenixCoyotes.com.
Coyotes
Buck Bash, a very
playoffs.
popular promotion year in and year out. Hope to see you out Saturday night. Don't forget Jaromir Jagr. Ray Whitney makes his return to Jobbing.com Arena as well, as this one broken up. Now out of the zone as Bakker flips it to center. Alex Bolduc, little drop pass for Bada. He takes a shot and a stop by Dubnyk, and that'll get a face-off. We'll step out, still 1-0.
1-0 Coyotes.
Back in the
Game
first period for
6
Edmonton.
on Saturday.
All right, you flash back and you talk about goaltenders making their debuts for the Coyotes and getting shutouts. There's Al Montoya.
You wouldn't think it happens often. There's a look at Ilya Bryzgalov.
Yeah, the Stars were aligned that night.
He doesn't even have his mask painted yet. In Coyote colors. Got the Anaheim Duck pads. And then Chad Johnson. And we know this one all too well as well, with mom, dad, and his twin brother in the house. He has continued to be good, very solid in this hockey game again here tonight.
They're going to win this series.
Alex Bolduc, it's what a game of
The Coyotes
13 shots
will eliminate
aside.
the Oilers
A lot of scoring chances.
with a 4-2 victory.
Back at Chad Johnson, Matt. I mean, this is a guy that's played 24 games in the American Hockey League. He's earned an opportunity here, and because he's had that much action, and Mike Smith and Jason LaBarbera really haven't because of the lockout situation, he's taken advantage of it.
Ryan Smith got it to the front. It's loose in the crease. Going to be cleared away. There goes Smart. So you were talking about Ryan Smith that time, just waiting to get off a good look there as it's played back and over the line. Bravado with a shot on the right hand save. Dubnyk behind the net. Bolduc trying to get it to the front that time. Bakker is there. Now to the line. Yandel looking for a deflection. Sharp angle that time, hit the outside of the net. Now trying to wrap around Moss, and he's sitting one right through the crease.
Oh, Bolduc great in front. Never a bad play. Just throwing it at the net from a bad angle. I don't mind that at all.
Right back of the line. Coyotes are going to look to take it away. Been shorthanded tonight without Rusty Klesla, no Marty Hansel, no Steve Sullivan. And Dubnyk is able to cover this one up. We talked about Chad Johnson. We saw some great looks at his parents on Monday night, who are back here again tonight, along with his brother Curtis.
Oh, Mom doesn't have the purple gloves on. She had them on last game. Mom, you got to know you can't change things up. It's all about hockey players and their superstitions. You look at Johnson, Montoya, and Ilya Bryzgalov, all in their Coyote debuts, posting shutouts. They're probably in the same seats, though. That's the good thing.
Now Gordon has it. Trying to get a shot away. Puck played into the corner. 3:20 to go in the second.
In the second,
Great loss.
the Coyotes 1-0 lead in Game 6.
Now the Oilers will get it out. Taylor Hall. Goes in behind the net. Everly. Back to Chad Johnson. And Dubnyk He's able to cover
Scoreless
this one.
Lightning will go to the power
Talk
play,
about
but
Chad
just take a
Johnson.
look
We
at
saw
what
some
they're talking about, the
great
great vision
looks.
and the ability to handle the puck by Jonathan Drouin. Watch that nice little move around the winger. Now he gets that pass over quickly to a wide open guy. That pass was deflected from Brewer to Johnson. But watch this here. You can see there his icing. He looks up, he sees it. Nice pass, tape to tape. There you see the deflection. And that was a great scoring chance. Now this one here is a holding call on Johansson, so the Lightning will get the first power play of the game.
Toyota power play chance for Tampa Bay at 29.2%, 7-20.
You gotta know you can't change things up. It's all about hockey players and their superstitions. You look at Johnson, Montoya, and Billy Brzgalov, all in their Coyote debuts. Shut up. Johnson, Montoya.
Now the Oilers will get it out. Taylor Hall. Plays it in behind the net, Everly. Back to the line, Petrie. Shot, stopped that time. It's underneath Chad Johnson. Looking to cover it up, and we get the whistle.
Johnson, so calm and cool. Finds that puck, the shot from the point. Jumps all over that rebound. No loose change in front of that net. But just, again, so calm. We talked about him last game and how he's so robotic. Keeps that glove up very high up on that left shoulder. We talked about him last game and how he's so robotic. Keeps that glove up very high up on that left shoulder. But
Phenix Coyotes will try to punch their ticket to the second round.
15th shot on net.
3-2. Coyotes
Back to the
series
line,
lead.
cleared away by Antoine Burnett, sent right back in by Corey Potter. So Schlemko now for the Coyotes. Grunblad brings it along back to center. Plays it in behind the net. Burnett is there. Back to the line, Schlemko. That time, it's under.
So calm and cool. Finds that puck. Shot.
You're there with all those wins. Take a look at you keep it scoreless.
No loose change.
You want to win on the road in a consistent fashion, you need goaltending to help you put you're there with all those wins. Take a look at what Ben Bishop has done since last season and where he ranks as far as road wins. You see, tied for first, goals against, save percentage, as well as shutouts. Now that 18 wins includes the one in Vancouver.
Towards the net, blocked away. All the way back out it goes as it's moved in. Blocked away that time by Grunblad. Richard Hopkins after Chad Johnson looking to cover it up. And
Chad Johnson will be saved.
Dallas Eakins on the other side. They started winless in their first 5. They have victories this week over Tampa Bay and Washington. As the young upstart Oilers look upward in the standings. Jay McClement will center.
Again, so calm.
Terry, Jay Harrison, Justin Falk on defense. Sit back and enjoy this one from Edmonton off the draw. Anton Hudobin right away will melt it down, and we get a stoppage of play. Rex Express Care, injuries and scratches now. We'll take a look here, sponsored by Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence.
Well, Eric Stahl may be back in the next game Tuesday in Vancouver. We spoke about.
It's underneath the defender Schlemko. Shot that time taken by Potter. He snapped his stick, and the Coyotes quickly back to center.
It's a forward on D.
Korpikoski with a blast, and Dubnik makes the save. Well, this February, NASCAR returns to Fox with a 55th.
This June, the FIFA World Cup.
The 55th running of the Great
Around
American
the world.
Race. It's the debut of the Gen 6 cars. They're putting the stock back into stock car
the World
racing.
Cup.
See the future of racing and the world's best drivers. It's the Daytona 500
Mexico.
February 24th only on Fox.
On Fox.
Played all the way out, and Yandel will chase this one down with a minute 55 remaining in the second period. We talked a lot about Chad Johnson here in the second period. Coyotes just one of 2 teams in the league to use 3 goaltenders so far this early in the season. The other one, we'll see him Friday and Saturday, that being the Dallas Stars.
Well, the good part is Mike Smith, the backbone of this organization is getting healthy. Took some more pucks today at the pregame skate.
He went long today, didn't he?
Yeah, looks more and more comfortable, so the quicker they can get him back, the better for this team.
Kyle Chipchura behind the net. Now out of his zone it goes, back to center. Ryan Smith plays it along. Petrell. The corner, Morris. Knocks that one away. Coyotes will work to get it out, closing it on a minute remaining in the second period. Yandel lost it. They back it over the line, however, and now turn the other way and clear. Here's Hemsky. Going to the front. Hemsky tried to walk it around Yandel. Forget about it. And now back to center ice for Chipchura, but it's denied there by Petrie, and the Oilers will look to set it up inside of their own end of the ice.
And we really have to give the Coyotes a lot of credit for playing these last handful of games without a bunch of their starters. They have to have the most depleted lineup in the NHL as far as their regulars.
Into the corner, and now Gagne, back of the line, a shot wide of the mark, taken that time by Sneed. Johnson will take it away as Dave Moss gets it back to center. 22 remaining in the second period. Coyotes chip into the corner. Gagne gets some help to clear it all the way back to center, and now Derek Morris looking up ice. They'll have to hurry here. Play back it over the line for Boyd Gordon. Now Gordon to the side of the net. They work it to the front. It's loose. 3 seconds to go. Ekman Larson with a glove save there by Dubnik.
They're all.
And let's see if we get a whistle.
Let's see if they're going to
Or
whistle.
if they're going to let the second period come to an end.
Come to an end.
Everybody kind of mingling around. And
Coyotes, no goals scored in the second period.
I think they're going to add a little bit of time to the clock here.
Probably
half a second maybe?
Yeah. Maybe a second or two. Notice half of them are already gone to the locker room, coaches included. They're all going back out on the bench. So let's see what they put up on the clock here. Maybe one last chance off a face-off win here for the Coyotes.
Second intermission, Todd will chat with Alex Bolduc. We'll also take a look around the NHL and have our stats and highlights.
Stats and highlights.
They have
the
18
Stanley
minutes
Cup
on the arena
playoffs.
scoreboard. That obviously they're jumping the gun a little bit for the intermission. They'll put 1.2 seconds back up on the clock.
The Coyotes with 3 players up in the slot area with the handle back. It's going to go right towards the net. The net gets kicked out. I don't think we have a left-handed shot, except Korpikoski's coming in.
1.2 to go in the second. Oilers win the draw, and that's going to do it. So it's all academic
Finally,
from that point on. So Tyson defensively, both of these teams playing pretty well here tonight. But not a lot of scoring chances, that's for sure. How do the Coyotes break through in the third?
Well, pretty good road period by the Edmonton Oilers, keeping the Coyotes to the outside. They're going to have to penetrate that box, just keep throwing more pucks at Dubnik. We saw it with that third line with Moss and Bolduc and Boyd Gordon, and it's not going to be pretty to get back in this game, but they need more pucks.
They're going to punch their ticket to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Leonard
Petrell with the Coyotes punch their ticket to the another round. Playoffs. And familiarity breeds contempt.
First period at 4:51, and it's 1-0 Edmonton.
And we have a 1-0 Coyotes lead in Game 6.
Todd Walsh back here at Shopping.com Arena. Start of the third period in moments, but take a look at who's here tonight. The new voice of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Steve Berthiaume, along with his wife Cindy. Had a chance to talk to Steve earlier today on my way to the skate. Huge hockey fan. He's been tweeting about the Coyotes for weeks. He watches our shows. And those are the seats that the Diamondbacks got him, his connections with the Diamondbacks. But what I think I'm going to do is show him how we roll here, Tyson. I think we need to put him on the glass coming up here soon. Big hockey fan. It's great to have him in the family. We'll be seeing lots of him this summer here on Fox Sports Arizona with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Guys, take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Todd
Thanks a
Walsh.
lot,
And
Todd.
also
And we have
understand Bob Brentley
a new
is a
Stanley
new
Cup
partner in the
playoff
booth. He's a big hockey
era
fan. And
for the
certainly
Arizona
wish Steve and
Coyotes.
Bob all the best.
Phenix Coyotes
Welcome
are
to the Valley. There's a lot of people said
a
that
lot of
to me
people,
this time.
big hockey fans
That's
coming.
right. Not a bad place to be. And hopefully the Coyotes play with a little more
Hopefully the
urgency in
Coyotes
this
are
third
going to
period.
celebrate
Matt,
with a
When they
Game
get back
6
in this hockey
victory.
game, they got to start pushing the pace. Edmonton's up by a goal. You know they're going to want to tighten
They want
things
to
up.
tighten one in Game 6.
So here we go. Let's see if the Coyotes can get
Let's see
something
if the
going.
Coyotes
Just 17
force Game
shots on goal
7.
so far here tonight. On the Ekman Larson into the corner. Tries to advance it on left wing. And down low there is Vermette as he got it back to center for Dome, but that turned off his skate. So the Oilers will set it up. First of 3 on the road for the Edmonton Oilers. They'll be in San Jose tomorrow night, Colorado on Saturday.
That will be
And the Coyotes
Game
after this
7
one
on
home and home with
Monday.
the Dallas Stars. Behind the net now.
Calling it down.
Looks to move it out, can't do it.
Second round on
Taken over that
Thursday.
time by Taylor Hall. All upended. Taylor Hall trying to set it up again, and this one is denied. Taylor Hall, I think Tyson has played a very, very effective defensive game here tonight as Shane Doan will get one towards the net, and one saved by Dubnik, and he'll give it up. And around the boards, Taylor Hall still out there, handled off that time by Ekman Larson. Derek Morris will turn the other way.
A good defensive play there by Ekman Larson.
Barker back of the line. Morris, his shot just hit the outside of the net. Might have been deflected by Korpikoski. Barker has it. And it's cleared out and all the way back to center ice.
Yeah, you don't want to give up an opportunity to shoot that puck. Every chance you can get, you want to let it fly.
On his own and back in it goes. Korpikoski left side. Wrist shot. Stop Dubnik. Out of the corner again. And Barker's shot is blocked away. Rundblad at the line. Bravada holds. Korpikoski is there. And he's trying to get a shot away, partially deflected by the defenseman Corey Potter. Now here's a chance of throwing a shot, and again blocked out high. Oh, the Oilers doing a great job of blocking the shots in front of goaltender Devin Dubnik.
Late Hebburn. Latrell is going off. He is hurting after a couple big block shots. And Edmonton, again, doing such a good job clogging up that slot area and protecting their goaltender, Devin Dubnik.
They've blocked 11 in the hockey game. The other way it goes. Gagne going wide. Taking in behind it. Back out high now. Out of the corner. And that right through the crease over there for the Oilers. Sneed with a chance. And Shenko steps in front of that one. But it's Hemsky again. And trying to get it out is Kyle Chipchura. The Coyotes are having a tough time moving that puck up the ice here tonight on multiple occasions. It seems like they're getting caught flat-footed a little bit.
It's just execution. Take-to-take passes. They're in the feet. They're able to keep those legs turning and catch Edmonton flat-footed themselves just because of poor execution of bad passes.
Coyote that time missing it. Rough ride. And here's a chance over the line. Doan with a shot. He missed wide.
That was on the tape there. A Keith Yandel pass. Shane Doan misses the net.
There's right side zone entry here tonight. Missing at that time tonight. A run in behind the play. That's Nick Schultz. Now Coyote will send one in behind the net. Yandel is there. Taken away in front. Coyote, he sent one wide. Petrie working in behind the net. They're trying to put it in front. Coyote, Nugent Hopkins in his blast over the top of the net. Coyotes look to get it up the ice, and here they come back through center. Bolduc on the right wing. Right in behind the net. Dubnik is there. Coyotes go for the shift change. Now out of the zone for Ryan Whitney. And right back in by Potter. Pollock now for the Coyotes will play it to Ekman Larson. Oliver Ekman Larson gets it up ice. Here's a chance outside Vermette. Right to the net. He's stopped by Dubnik. What a stop, Devin Dubnik.
A stop is right all alone. Antoine Vermette. What a feed by Ekman Larson.
All with a chance. That time, sharp angle. Yeah, that feed from Ekman Larson was a thing of beauty. And Smead will play it down low. And Smead looking around. Works it there for Nugent Hopkins. Smead. Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall working it back out high. A shot just wide. I don't think Chad Johnson saw that. And it's cleared all the way back to center.
Well, that's what we talked about. The Coyotes sniffing a little bit, trying to get that next goal. Down by one.
Goal.
Taking a few chances. Good
It is 2-0.
The first one by Yandel. That last one by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Outstanding.
Reset out now for the Coyotes. Schlemko for Rundblad. To center, Korpikoski. Big Schultz up ice. Lead pass in over the line intended for Ryan Smith. Chad Johnson behind the net to steer. Bodker, and he'll get it to center. Big Schultz, a longtime member of the Minnesota Wild. Came over at the trade deadline. Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith. 6
goals.
goals,
Smith stays out there, however.
7 assists. Here in this first round.
Down low as well, and Bodker now will take it away. Bodker got upended, stays right with the puck, and gets some help from Korpikoski. The Coyotes get it to center. Radim Vrbata, who's been quiet, will get it in over the line. And that's stripped. And the other way it goes, nearly spun for Hemsky, and we'll get an icing call here against Edmonton.
Well, here was the pass we were talking about. Watch this feed by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Right up to Antoine Vermette, right through the gut. Vermette thinks he has maybe a little daylight over that blocker. Big save by Dubnyk, and there's the shot block we were talking about. Right there, good stick and lane by Petrie. Korpikoski licking his chops right there. That's a scoring area.
Oilers have played very well in front of their goaltender.
Played very well in this series.
And then a stop that time by Dubnyk.
Including these
backhander towards the net.
20
Johnson, a good bit there.
blocks.
That steered aside.
Dubnyk didn't even see that little spinorama by Johnson.
Yandel will play it in behind the net, angled off by Hemsky. Turnover here. Coyotes look out, chance in front. Hemsky. Then he's stopped by Johnson.
Oh, and his shot! Oh boy.
Hemsky that time robbed
Alex Hemsky.
by Chad Johnson on a broken play.
Can't make it through. And with
by Chad
Game
Johnson
6
on a broken play in front.
Stanley Cup playoffs
By Chad Johnson on a broken
is
play
here.
in front. Let's take a look at the game summary.
The
Just
playoff
one
game
goal
summary.
in the hockey game. Leonard Petron just kind of filling the lane, and that came way back early on in the first period of play. Devin Dubnyk, though, at the other end, has been very, very sharp.
Yeah, he's been so good in this hockey game, making the saves that he's had to make. No rebounds. His rebound control has been sensational this game. The biggest one was that save blocker on Antoine Vermette. So outstanding, and happy
outstanding.
Behind him there.
The Coyotes
looking on.
respond to goal.
Here in the Valley as well.
By the way, let's go ahead and do this right now with 13:46 remaining. Devin Dubnyk's last shutout was back in March last season, 22 save effort against the Columbus Blue Jackets. You're okay with that, right, Tyson?
Yeah, without a doubt.
So the Coyotes looking to break through. Defensive zone face-off for Phoenix here to the right of goaltender
face
Chad
elimination.
Johnson.
They're going to punch their ticket to the semifinal.
Intended that time for Chipchura. Down low it goes. Eberle now on the counter. Plays it back to the line. Schmid. Now Potter looking to the front. A stop that time by Chad Johnson. He got the rebound as well. Eberle comes away with it. Now Kyle Chipchura looking for some room to try to play it down low and set it up.
I think the Edmonton Oilers have gotten in this third period has been a result of turnovers by the Coyotes.
And a good example here is they've had some pretty good pressure in the offensive zone.
Pressure in the offensive zone. 1-0 Coyotes lead.
His shot is blocked, and the other way.
The Oilers are trying to make a close one.
And the Coyotes will change it up as the Oilers look to move it quickly. Petrie over the line. Chase that time blocked out high, shoveled along by Yandel.
Petrie with a shot by Chad Johnson.
Korpikoski. Got it right to the line, that's taken away. Justin Schultz looks up ice and a stretch pass for Payarvi. One-on-one against Morris. One-on-one battle now. Payarvi comes away with it. Played it in behind the net. Hardik-Lainen trying to wrap around, but cut off by Yandel. Well, the Knight in a world of hurt. Yandel's going to leave it there for Derek Morris. And he brings it out as Bakker will move it along to center. Korpikoski with it in over the line. And taking it away are the Oilers, and Pajärvi the other way.
4-on-2.
Drops it. Nick Schultz to the full, and a chance blocked away by Yandel. Keith Yandel's going to go to the bench. Meanwhile, up the ice goes Bakker. He drops Korpikoski, and that goes off netting. And we were going to whistle. Well, Keith Yandel feeling that one. Really sacrificing on a scoring chance here for Edmonton.
2014 playoffs.
By Yandel. And how about that last play by the Edmonton Oilers? That was a 4, which turned into a 5-on-2. Turnover there on the blue line. Looking at Keith Yandel's numbers.
Brewers like cold hard facts.
This is the Predators. 25-46. For the goal and 2 apples.
Two apples.
They could use some
Ryan
love in
Smith,
this game here, but
13 points.
again, back to my point, a 5-on-2. Mikkel Bakker had any steam left. That was a breakaway.
Getting back to Yandel, he has 2 of the 8 blocks tonight for the Phenix Coyotes. Vermette at center. Now bring it back and over the line. He drops it. Schlemko got it away that time by Dubnyk. Now Doan works it back out high. Schlemko holds, trying to get a lane. Johnson will get it down low. Doan there. The line we saw at the ice down this morning. It came in front. And it'll be cleared out of there all the way back to center.
Edmonton doing a nice job pressuring the Coyotes D. Ryan Smith in that shooting lane for Schlemko to retreat and put that puck down low.
Yandel will have to send one right back in. The late offside is canceled off. Nail Yacopov has it. Oh, this kid can fly all the way back to center ice. Yacopov between
Yacopov, 5 goals and 5 apples in this Stanley Cup playoff.
Back out high, Smead. And a glove save that time by Chad Johnson. Nail Yacopov just speed to burn.
3 goals in 5 games coming into this one. Right there, 64, first overall pick in the draft. And here he goes. He can wind it up. It's a lot like Mikkel Bakker for the Phenix Coyotes. Bring everyone to you and then put it to the outside and go hard in the net. And he's only going to get better. Just learning the NHL game, which is not easy. That's a big adjustment for a 19-year-old kid.
Shapira now plays it along for
Can't wait
McCulloch.
that he's 17 or 16.
Shapira now will get it out of the zone, and he rushes it back to center. You know, Yacopov so far tonight with a shot and a couple of hits. Petrie now. Plays it across the street.
Atmospheric here at Garbie.com Arena.
Steered by Dubnyk. Coyotes trying to put on some pressure here.
That's what we talked about. The D are going to get more involved in the offensive zone. Pinching down, try to keep that cycle alive.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. All the way down the length it goes. Icing is going to be the call, and we're going to whistle and a touch-up. But don't forget about the Sobe Kids Free Mondays. It's going to return next week when the Coyotes host the Minnesota Wild. Get up to 2 free kids, tickets ages 12 and under for every
in Edmonton
at
Rexall Place.
On game days. That's at the box office on game days.
The Oilers
Just a
of the
reminder there.
Coyotes.
You get your tickets
today
at
if the series ties for the Oilers.
The rest of the way, Matt, are going to be so important as well for the Coyotes. Keep this offense rolling.
Game 6, if necessary.
It goes. Now Schlemko holds, side of the net, chance, backhander to Johnson. Spinorama shot blocked. Schlemko trying to get it right back. Back of the line, Roomblad. His shot walking on. Backhander trying to put it home was Vermette. Back of the line, Roomblad. His shot walking on.
His shot. Backhander. Oh, huge save by Devin Dubnyk. I can't believe it.
It was Vermette. As he swatted
the Oilers celebrate.
Well, Theo Fleury did it in the playoffs in a big game. Nail Yacopov did this against the Kings recently. The slide celebration. Welcome, Jody Jackson with you as we get set for Coyotes Live, presented by CenturyLink, our post-game show. But it was our text poll tonight. We asked you, what did you think of it? a little bit overboard possibly for a regular season game, the rookie. And as we take a look, loved it, hated it, and we go with loved it. Loved it, you all loved it. And there you have it, guys. The text polls gives us the temperature of the audience out there. They didn't mind the slide at all.
I agree with the
Speaking
fans.
of that, the crowd.
I loved it too.
Wow.
Yes.
Just don't do it again. You'll be celebrating by
Oh
yourself.
my goodness.
Right away.
It will be a celebration like
arms here. They wanted to
for
call
the
it.
game.
Referees have put their whistles away.
with the song Celebrate.
That first period, really virtually nothing. But you don't mind as a player.
Out of the zone, Derek Morris. Put it right back in, closing it out 1 minute remaining in regulation.
And a shot.
Burnett. Out of the line, Doan trying to feed it out there for the point man, but back the other way. Now Morris hustles back. Smart play there by Derek Morris. Comes along, and now Burnett are going to back it over the line before it's chipped away.
Keith Yandel was trying to create some offense and jump down that back door. Good read by Derek Morris. Now he was all alone, comes over and pinches that play off.
Played right back in. Wagner to the corner. Well, helping out his room glide against Hartikainen, and now out of the zone it goes. And quickly to center for Schlemko. He's got some room. Schlemko with it. Try to get one towards the front. Urbana was there, but he couldn't connect. And now back to center ice as this one's dumped in by Ryan Whitney.
How good David Schlemko offensively been in this hockey game. He has been all over in front of that Edmonton Oilers goal. I love it.
Edmonton Oilers are going to tie this game.
Really a lot of the forwards here tonight when it comes to the offense.
He really had the only chance in that second period where he walked in right through the slot and put that backhand over top of the net.
Back into the neutral zone. This one's going to be taken away inside the blue line. Yandel now tries to stretch it out for Boyd Gordon. Gordon, as he runs all the time, smart play to the deep. Here's a chance. It bounces in front. Gordon's right there for the lane. Kind of a crazy cone. Morris has it, right to the net.
That was insane.
This time much on the short side.
Morris was
Oilers out. Now Derek Morris. Behind it, watched by Nail Yacopov. The center ice now, Moss. Sends one deep. 7:10 remaining in the third period of play. Going to go all the way
in the third period. The Coyotes 1-0 lead. They're trying to punch their ticket to the second round with a Game 6 victory. Larson. Coyotes won games 2, 3, and 4.
There by Edmonton. Side of that Hall working in front. Well, the Coyotes will turn the other way with Nick Johnson. Petrell's goal at 4:51 of the opening period has been the difference so far.
And Ryan Smith waved off.
From behind the net, Antoine Burnett. Bring it in behind, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Turnover. Oilers now with Taylor Hall worked it to the front. Let's take it away. Nick Johnson will work it to center ice. Taylor Hall has been just terrific offensively here tonight for Edmonton.
Yeah, he's been good. Definitely not the game that I expected out of this Edmonton Oilers team. I thought they would be flying all over. You got to give the Coyotes credit. But right now, the Edmonton Oilers just clogging things up.
Back through center, Petrell over the line. Petrell, the net, he's stopped that time by Johnson. Petrell has the lone goal in the hockey game, but all the way back to center ice. Urbana will try to move it inside the zone. Oilers have done a really nice job defensively with their sticks. They've had good sticks all night here against the Coyotes as this one has played right then.
The coaching staff's going to be really happy with this hockey game so far. Defensively, outstanding job. Perfect road game.
Right back it over the line by Bodker. Belanger behind there. Bodker, they're going after the defender there, Petrie. And out of the zone through center. Hensky now for Edmonton. Gordon will take it away. Soft little flip there. Now we're going to whistle here. And it looks like maybe 2 even on the ice.
2 on the ice.
Check it when
The Coyotes are trying to. The Oilers are trying to end their playoffs.
Back.
Well, the Coyotes. to make their grand finale in the first round, trying for their ticket against
Check it when we come back. Could be going against the Coyotes.
the Anaheim Ducks.
Here's a look at the penalty. Coyotes all right here. Here comes the man out of the box. Stop it there. So they got too many on the ice right there. But the player for the Coyotes is right there at the bench. That is a real iffy call, if you ask me. The Coyotes don't even have the puck at that point. About 5 feet was the rule. That's what Shane Doan was using the referee about. Nonetheless, big penalty kill coming up.
This one sent all the way down. Dubnyk steered in behind the net. You saw a look there at Alex Bolduc in the penalty box. He serves the minor for too many men. 5 shots allowed over the last power play. 8 power play opportunities against. There's a shot that goes wide of the mark. Right in behind the net. Taylor Hall stripped of the puck and cleared by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. So Devin Dubnyk will set it up in behind the net. Taylor Hall has it. Back out high. Schultz. Turn the other way, Eberle. Around the boards. Derek Morris goes after it, and Radim Bravado will pick it up. Here he comes. He drops it. Bodker. Now Bodker. Here's a chance. Morris down the lane. Side of the net. Hit the outside. Bravado is right there for a good look.
Short-handed as well. Heads up play there by Derek Morris. Wouldn't mind a shorty right here.
Played right back down low, and Dubnyk will steer that behind the net for Ryan Whitney. Good sequence here. Doan now, working it in behind the net. This one, Hemsky off the play. Shane Doan all over the puck. Take a bump at Hemsky now, and the puck is played behind the net. Sam Gagner will look to get it out. Great job here by the penalty killing unit, with 18 seconds remaining in the advantage for the Edmonton Oilers. 18 seconds remaining in the advantage for the Edmonton. Larson trying to get it out, can't clear it. Good keep there. Hemsky now turns. 3 seconds to go in the power play. And the power play is over. No shots on goal for the Edmonton Oilers with an advantage. We're going to whistle. And a faceoff coming up inside the Edmonton zone. Oilers with an power play is over. No shots.
Here's no Yacopov. Yacopov scores! The penalty expires in 10 seconds, but Leo Yacopov ties the game at 1.
High speed play of the game. Edmonton zone as we take a look at tonight's Century. Need some offense. We need a couple more scoring chances. Devin Dubnyk's been terrific tonight for the Oilers. Scoring chances. Devin Dubnyk's been terrific tonight for the Oilers.
Smith and Gagner.
He's got to be thinking too, you know, Nikolai Hobbie-Boulin's back, maybe looking over his shoulder a little bit. Eric Belanger flips one into the zone. Ryan Smith lets this one go against Derek Morris. Now Gordon will take it away. Bodker out of the zone, back to center. Yandel. Over the line, Bodker. Bodker tries to set it up in the middle that time, but it's taken away. Hunter Petrell move it back in over the line. This time Edmonton, they had a 2-on-1, a shot wide of the mark, but they elected to go to the line change with 2:26 now remaining in the third period.
Game tied at 1. Oilers and Coyotes, game 6.
Big chance that time. Rublev, rebound,
Rebound! Oh, what a shot! What a takeaway by the captain, Sean Horcov! Wow!
Look at the Oilers in that group.
Look at the Oilers.
All 5 of them.
Oilers.
Right down trying to help out their goaltenders. The Coyotes whack away at this. There's Shane Doan. believe Johnson comes in, has a whack at this.
That's
Over Ekman Larson as well.
our southwestern eye center view from the ice.
Dubnyk. The brick wall in there for the Oilers.
Eye center view from the ice.
Face off coming up.
Wide away.
Yeah, on the side.
Big chance that time.
Big chance in that time. Here is Sean Horcov. Horcov saves it on what a save by Devin Dubnyk. Horcov shoots. He scores. Oilers lead 2-1 with 1:59 left to go in the third period. And that, folks, will be a series tie, and it will for Game 7.
The brick wall in there for the Oilers. Now finds that rebound. Within 5 seconds.
18:01, time of the goal. Horcov, the captain, game winner.
Oilers win the draw, 2:05.
Oilers win the draw with 1:59 left to go in the third period.
Gagne. Schlemko went hard to the boards that time, and that opposition was Johnson. Johnson got held out to the penalty. Penalty counted here against the Edmonton Oilers.
Big hit there on Horcov on the blue line.
Horcov is setting it up moments before that. David did.
Gagne. Johnson was off to the races there. If he doesn't make this, there's the hit on Schlemko earlier.
The hit of Schlemko.
There's the dome hit. Not much there. We don't see the initial call on Gagne. So a power play opportunity with 1:46 to go and a power play that has been hung.
Meanwhile, Schlemko, we should point out as you look at Gagne in the penalty box, David Schlemko has gone down the runway towards the dressing room.
Oilers,
So an Arizona Lottery power
2 goals in 25
a chance for
seconds.
the Coyotes to get it tied.
The Oilers came back from a 1-0 deficit. The Coyotes
Yandel and Ekman Larson, the
are
point
going to make
here
it
on the
trouble.
power play late in the third period of play. Dome goes
Oilers
up
will
front.
celebrate,
He's joined out there by
and Rexall plays just feeling the vibes.
Chad Johnson to the bench for the extra attacker. So in essence, a two-man advantage for the Coyotes. Right in behind it, Verbata. He goes down low. Verbata swatting away. They'll work it to the point man. Here's a chance. Ekman Larson, his shot wide of the mark. Now Vermette back to the line. We'll see what this young Edmonton penalty kill group can do. Into the corner now, Verbata. Verbata holding, trying to work it back down behind Yandel. Under a minute to go. Yandel tees one up, shot blocked. And it's cleared all the way down the length of the ice.
There's Petrell once again. And this is really where you miss Steve Sullivan.
So Yandel brings it along. 45 to go in regulation.
The Coyotes,
Sends one in.
the crowd has been atmospheric here in Yacopov Arena. Here is Schlemko with a breakaway.
Old Boss got tripped up on the play. Coyotes work to work it free. Ekman Larson at the line. Yandel 25 to go.
22 seconds left to go in the opening period.
Now Yandel works it to the middle. A chance at Larson.
Chance in front, and it denies. He doesn't get there. 32 seconds left.
Gonna come right out front.
The Coyotes celebrate.
For 32 back. A shot from the center. This puck's gonna come right out front.
What a shot.
For 32 bags.
And the Coyotes will try to win. The Oilers are trying to win this one with a Game 6 victory.
He gets
And he gets
monster goal.
a monster
He's feeling
shot.
the love here. Games. He gets Marino. Monster goal.
What a game.
Chad Johnson back between the pipes. 12 seconds to go.
11 seconds to go.
Coyotes trying to steal at least one point here.
Coyotes will get some trouble happening.
He'll play it in behind the net.
And the Oilers tied the series at 3 games apiece. 2-1 Oilers.
Coyotes get a goal from
They scored by Horcov and Yacopov.
Dave Moss and Radim Verbata.
Dave Moss and Verbata.
The third period on the power play.
The power play.
I got to be honest, I didn't envision
I got to be honest.
Johnson getting this one.
This one
But that is the reward
is going to
system
be a monster.
of Coach Dave Tippett. He liked what he saw out of his game. He's been all over Dubnyk and the Edmonton Oilers. He's had his chances. He gets rewarded in the last minute of this hockey game on the power play. And he rewards the coach. And here's the play right here. It's not pretty. Little
Here's the
rebound,
play.
and there he is.
It's not over.
Right there, the side of the net. To bang that home with Dave Moss in front. Korpikoski doing a nice job. Devin Dubnyk,
Nice job on the
fires the puck in the corner. He's played a real
for the Oilers.
game for the Edmonton Oilers.
The Oilers are going to tie this one.
Can often be a lot of foreshadowing for what you may see later on that night. And Nick Johnson, in line breakouts this morning, was on the top line with Shane Doan and Antoine Vermette. Meanwhile, we go downstairs, Todd
downstairs.
Probably talk to Nick between a few new faces around here. So the crowd things. Core group of guys, you have to be a certain type of player, a certain type of person. Well, what helped him?
to McCall. Great look. He shoots it.
He shoots and saves. Once again, the Edmonton Oilers tying this series up at 3 games apiece. The Oilers win Game 6, a 2-1 victory here at W.com Arena. And that will be a Game 7 at Rexall.
Yacopov might want to get up. There's a look on the power play. So off. Chad John.
They're looking at. They're taking a look. Goes off.
Not sure if he touches.
From 2-1 in overtime, so the Coyotes get a point, but that's it.
Get a point, and that's it.
Let's get to the Coyotes live.
Let's get to the Coyotes live
with Jody
Game
Jackson.
6.
It starts right now.
It's over.
2-1 in Coyotes live.
And that will do it. 2-1.
CenturyLink with Jody Jackson. It starts right now.
It starts right now.